What the heck is going on with this show? I just started watching it and I don't know. Have you seen this? Let me know if you've seen it. Obviously, Marty's watching it with me. So we just got done at the Gilcrest orchard. Oh look, forest grown fresh cut balsam fir Christmas trees, November 26th and 27th.
From Utah. Balsam's it.
It's just those 2 days, huh? From the Utah mountains.
I guess they're not bringing that many if their schedule's that short.
So we're a little hot and sweaty from walking around in the sun, but I had a good time. What about you?
Yeah.
I think it'd be worth it going back there like every couple of months, because whatever they have in season we can buy fresh, and of course I think the prices are a lot better than if you buy them anywhere else. You're getting them right from the farm. Now one thing though, so we're going, this is the day before Halloween. Most of what they had was, what did you call them? Like trash ones, or there wasn't, you called them something specific, I can't remember. But
Well, yeah, so they had some of their rows with, cut up or mutated pumpkins, so either they can't be sold or used for Halloween. So they have a recycle bin for pumpkins out front, so people just throw their pumpkins in there when they're done with them, and then the orchard uses them for fertilizing the ground for their squashes and pumpkins, and looked like they had some other growth there as well.
now we're trying to figure out how to get a Christmas tree, because we're snobby. We only like real Christmas trees, and we're hearing that there are shortages of Christmas trees this year. So
Those California and Oregon fires.
right, so that'll be fun to try to find. But we just saw a sign at the farm saying that they're going to have, well, only for 2 days though, they're going to have trees from Utah here. So maybe we'll be able to get a tree after all, maybe. Oh boy. Yeah. I'm having like one of those nights, and I just thought I'd tell you guys about it. Oh my gosh. Okay. So Brad had to work late last night. What else is new? But it was so bad. He like had this, I don't know, presentation thing he had to do today. So he was going to work all night long. And then around 10:30, he says to me, "Are you going to bed?" And I was about to go to bed. And I said, "Why?" And he's like, "Well, I want to go take a nap for like an hour, but I'm scared that we'll sleep through the alarm. So can you wake me up in an hour and a half?" And I'm like, so I didn't even tell him that I was going to go to sleep. I just thought, well, I'm good. I want to be nice, and I want to help him. So I told him, go ahead and take your nap and I'll stay up. So I stayed up. I got him up around, let's see, he slept from like 11 to 12:30. So I got him up around 12:30. So I go to bed. I finally fall asleep around 1:30. Now, mind you, I normally get up at 5:30 in the morning. So that was not going to be a fun night for me. Around 3:30 in the morning, he comes in our bedroom and wakes me up, and he says, "Honey, do you know where our car is?" And I'm like, "What?" He says, "I don't know where the car is." It's like, what do you mean you don't know where the car is? He's like, "It's not there." And I'm like, okay. So we have one of those things in our car that tells us where our car is. So I call the cops. I'm like, somebody stole our car. I have the address. It's nowhere near here. It's like half an hour away. So she looks everything up, and then she says, "Well, your car wasn't stolen. It was towed." And I'm like, "What do you mean it was towed? Why would it be towed?" And she says, "Well, it's towed because your tags are expired. That's what it says on here." And I'm like, no, we got our tags in April and they're good for a year. And she goes, "Oh, you're right. Your tags aren't expired. I can see that in here." You know, because she's a cop, right? She says, "But it's good that you called, because we would have given you a ticket for having your tags expired." It's like, yeah, and let me guess, you would have suspended my license too. And then I would have had to pay it anyway, because that's just how the world goes now, you know, even though I did nothing wrong. We call the tow place and they tell us that it's because the tags are expired. And I'm like, it's not the case. That is not, stop it, you know. And they're like, "Oh, well, actually you parked in the wrong spot." I'm like, no. Thank you, honey. I'm like, I don't think we parked in the wrong spot. I don't see how that's possible. Like, we've lived in this complex for 2.5 years. We've been using that parking spot for 2 years, because they, you know, when they assigned the spots or whatever. How have we parked in the wrong spot? They're like, "We don't know, but you did." And I'm like, so of course they want, last night they told us $250 if we come in during regular business hours, $300 if it's at night. It's like, so at this point though, like, what are we gonna do? Get an Uber? It's like 4 a.m. at this point. We both have to work. He's supposed to still be working, and I need some sleep, right? So we say, okay, we'll come in tomorrow and get the car. And of course, we both had to work all day. So we called to find out when we can get it. And of course, now it's $300. And every time, 12 hours that goes by, it's another $50 or something. So we're like, okay, let's go get Brad's work vehicle, which I'm sitting in now, if you can tell. And let's get on the road, you know. So we go to leave, and the battery's dead. It's like, what the hell? So I call the apartment complex. I'm like, "Hey, can you please come jump our car?" "No, we can't do that anymore. It's a liability, because if they do it wrong, they can ruin your car or something." It's like, oh my God. Like, I don't even care anymore. We were going to do roadside assistance. "Oh, but no, you can't do that, because the insurance company that his boss has an agent or a broker or something, and you can only do anything like that when they're in the office to answer the call. You can't just call like a 1-800 number." So it's like, all right. So we had to call and pay out of pocket to get somebody to come jump this work truck. And we had to pay for it because his boss is just like, "We'll just do it tomorrow." It's like, because then it's another, by then it's 12 hours would have gone by twice. It's another $100 to get our car, and we want our car back. I don't want to just leave it down in like the bad part. I mean, I think I live in a bad neighborhood, but where it is even worse. It's like where all the ladies of the night are. The not expensive ones, you know what I mean? The guy that's charging the battery, jumping us, says, "This battery is completely dead. Like, it's not that you left the lights on or anything. It's dead. So once you turn it off, you're not going to be able to turn it back on again. And I can change the battery now," or it's like, we don't have time. So we have to leave the car running, get down there. I'll run in and pay and get the car, and then we can finally come home. It's already 6:45 at night. We got to get there by 9 or they're going to charge us another $50. And we do know that we did park in the wrong spot. I don't know which one of us parked in the spot. Of course, I like to think it's not me, but what if it was, right? But it's just so irritating and so expensive. And the worst part is, like I told the landlord, but nobody even uses that spot. She's like, somebody lives there now, and they called at midnight and had somebody come tow it because you were in their spot. It's like, if it had been during the regular business hours, we would have just called you and had you come, move your car. It's like, of course it's got to happen that way. This person comes home at midnight and has our car towed. Couldn't park in any of the other spots that are unassigned, right? And just been a little bit nice about it. Nope. Got to charge us hundreds of dollars. So I'm hoping to return the favor one day to that same person. I know it sounds terrible, but like, it's an honest mistake. Like, people do that, but this is really expensive at this point. We go to start driving, and he doesn't drive his work truck very often. We can't even really figure out why he has one at this point. And it says that he's got low tire pressure. It's like, oh my gosh, really? So we go to get air in the tires, and where we normally go for that, somebody cut the air line in half with like a knife or something. So after paying for it, I mean, it was like $2, but still, it's like, it's just starting to get really irritating. So now we've driven miles further out of our way in the opposite direction of where we need to go to put air in the tires. This is just one of those weird things. Like, in so many ways, our luck has totally turned around and it's wonderful. But the last couple of days, like, bad things just keep happening. And it could be so much worse, though, right? I'm just frustrated. It's like we were saying, maybe there's some reason. Maybe if our car had been in the parking spot that night, maybe somebody that was looking to steal a car would have stole our car or something. Or what if our car had been stolen? It'd be a lot more expensive than what we're paying for this. But it could be a lot worse, right? It could be so much worse. I'm just being a grouchy butt. So, to add to all of it, when I thought our car had been stolen, I had a panic attack. So it took me quite a while to get my blood pressure down far enough to go back to sleep last night. And I finally got back to sleep around, I think it was like, I was laying there for quite a while, probably 4:30, 4:45, and I ended up sleeping in until 6. So I slept for like 2 hours and then got up and then slept for an hour and a half, and then I've been going ever since, and I'm just so tired. I just want to get my car and go home and relax. Okay, you guys, it's been a night. I am in my car. Okay, as if this night couldn't have been any worse, I lost some of the stuff I thought I was recording. So I wanted to let you know we finally got on the way down to the tow truck place, and we realized that the hood had not been closed by the guy that jumped the battery. So we had to pull over, and Brad had to get out on the interstate and close the hood, which was scary. And then we got there, and he had to leave the car running while I went in to pay to get the car out of the parking lot. So I get down this long, dark area. It's like kind of like one of those horror novels I read, And so the light turns on, and she comes out. The door's locked. She lets me in. They only let one person at a time in there. So if nobody's in there, they have it totally dark out. They have it totally dark in that area. Anyway, I get in there and I go to pay, and my credit card wouldn't work. It's not my card though. She didn't even like slide it yet. It's got like an internet connection and it wouldn't say that it was ready to be scanned. So here she's like, do you want to try the ATM? I'm like, okay. ATM wouldn't work either because of the internet. It's like, oh gosh, what am I gonna do here? So anyway, we're trying to figure out what to do. We're like just kind of, you know, talking back and forth and just kind of laughing and having fun and stuff. And she says, you know, I have to tell you, you're probably the most pleasant person I've ever dealt with that has had their car towed. And I'm like, what? Me? Thanks. Like, maybe I'm getting better with my impatience and my temper or something, because a lot of people don't think I'm very nice when I'm having a bad day, but I'm just trying to laugh it off at this point, because it's like, what are you going to do? Like, you know, I can't get upset. Like, it's not going to solve anything. I know a lot of people that get really upset whenever things don't go their way, and how's that working out for you, you know? So I'm trying to not be that way, and it made me feel so good that she noticed it and commented on it. Like, have you ever felt like that? It's like you're working on yourself and a random stranger notices and you're just like, oh, thank you. Maybe I'm getting better. Maybe I'm not quite the monster I used to be. We're working on this situation for a while. And I told her, well, can you call it in? Because back in the day, you know, back in the, before the internet, when I worked retail, you could call the credit card company and get an approval number over the phone, and they hold that amount, like, you know, it's good. You get a approval number and everything. She's like, let me ask my boss. So she calls him. Nope, he said he won't do that. He doesn't know what you're talking about. It's like, you can do that, and I'd be shocked if you couldn't still do it, like, because everybody has power go out or internet go out sometimes, so pretty sure you can do it. But her boss didn't want to do it, which, okay. So I was telling her about, like, all the stuff that happened today, and she's like, oh, girl, like, we got to figure out how to make this work. She's like, 'cause I don't want to send you back home. She's like, you didn't Uber here, did you? Because, you know, can you imagine having to get one both ways? It would have been, we looked it up, it would have been about $50 for an Uber from where we live down there, plus the tip. It's like, so both ways, that's just... But luckily, it didn't come to all that, because she said, look, she said, you've been so nice. Maybe, you know, maybe we'll get rewarded, or you'll get rewarded for your niceties or whatever. So she goes to turn the machine back on, and it turned on, and it took the card, and it accepted it. So somebody's watching out for me tonight, and it's been a horrible night, but it could have been a lot worse, and I got through it. And I didn't lose my temper. What the heck is going on? I didn't lose my temper either. I hear a cop car or a siren, but I don't see one. Do you hear it? Oh, here they are, next to me. He almost hit me. Okay, I guess I can go now. That was crazy. You guys, there was somebody next to me. Okay, we're at a light. It's just the weirdest day. Well, now it's night, but... So, there's somebody next to me in the turning lane, and I'm all the way to the left to go straight, right? This cop comes up behind the guy next to me, and the guy next to me moves forward out into the intersection, okay? And the cop goes around him like this in front of me, and then goes and got that close to my car. Like, I was like, oh, you probably saw the look on my face. I thought he was going to hit me for sure. Thank you, God, once again. I I might get down and kiss the carpet when I walk into my apartment. I just want to get home okay. This has been such a weird night. Yeah, so the credit card machine worked. And I got to pay and I got to leave. I wanted to give her a hug. We were both like, yes! Oh my gosh. But she was one of those people, though. I probably could have been friends with her. Like, her and I seem to really get along well. But, like, what are you going to say? Like, well, I really like you and thanks for, working at this tow company. I can give you my number if you want to go out to lunch sometime. Like, it just seemed like a weird thing to say. So, I didn't say anything. I don't want to be weird, but I really liked her. We're trying to eat healthier and not order, not get like fast food or anything like that. Trying to kind of get it going a little more. Some of the weight loss, because we've both been losing weight, but not as fast as I want. I want to wake up tomorrow and be like 60 pounds lighter. You know what I'm saying? So, it's happening so much slower than that because I'm getting older and stuff. My metabolism's slowing down like to a snail's pace. So we are going to start working out soon. Now that he's home, finally, after that long business trip, we were going to go get a gym membership and stuff. Now we just need to find one that will let us switch locations when we move, because the chances of us being in this neighborhood when we move are non-existent because we're leaving this neighborhood. Oh my gosh, I'm tired. I am going to get some fast food tonight, and I am going to eat it, and I'm going to like it because it is now 8:30 and I am exhausted and I just want to eat, and I don't want it to be healthy right now. I want it to be nasty, oily, scrumdiddlyumptious, I can't wait to eat a really unhealthy meal right now after the day I've had. And I'm just being a big baby because so many things did go my way. And at the end of the day, I'm in my car. And, my original thing was I thought somebody stole Dorothy. And that's her name. And Dorothy's my girl. We've been through some stuff. I didn't want to get rid of her. I certainly didn't want somebody to steal her. Like, that would have been scary for her, And, I mean, she's probably scared enough being towed. But we're back together. She seems very happy. So she's driving nice and everything. Just being a good girl here. But oh boy, if when I thought she had been stolen, I had a panic attack. I was like, what's going on? Like, have they totaled my car? Or, like, this is my car. I don't really want, if I get a different car, I want it to be because I chose to, not because somebody stole her and totaled her or something. So, anyway, thank God she wasn't stolen. Oh. The cops were coming where I'm going. Okay. They've got the intersection shut down. Why? I'm nosy. Well, if there's a reason, I'm not seeing what it is. But they have the intersection shut down. There's a bunch of people standing there looking, though, they're at the bus stop. So maybe they're just waiting for their bus. Or there's something going on that I don't know. This has been a weird night. And I do live in a city, so it could be anything. Boy. So then I'm thinking, what I really want right now is Burger King. They're probably closed. Have you noticed? I'm sure you've noticed. Everywhere is suddenly closing early. Like, our Burger King used to be open till I think it was 24 hours. And now they close early, but I don't know what time they close at is the problem. But like every fast food place here, every restaurant, all have reduced hours now. That was one of the things that we really liked about moving to Vegas was things are open all the time, but they're not anymore. And it's fine. Like, I'm not like, oh, woe is me. I'm just saying in Vegas specifically, you could always kind of count on places really being open quite late, and they're not anymore, which is bizarre. All these employee shortages and stuff. Like Brad was saying, is Mercury in retrograde? And I said, no. No, not anymore. And he's like, but everybody's saying they're having their worst week. And I'm like, I know. It really is. So many people are having a bad week, but I hope you're not. But if you are, feel free to vent to me down in the comments, because I understand. But I think it's important when you're having a bad day, like I am right now, to do what, like that woman said. She said, hey, you're kind of rotating between looking like you want to cry and laughing, but you're handling it so well. It's like, yeah, that's what we need to do. That's how I need to react, instead of with anger. And so I was just thinking, this is really good though, because I think it's important when I'm having a bad day, or anybody, to stop and think this could be so much worse. Like, there's always something worse. You think about some of the terrible stories you hear from people, and it's like, I'm not having a bad week. I'm not. Count your blessings and count them twice. Okay. Burger King, are you open? What do I want to get? Well, I want to see if they're open first before I make that decision. I don't know if they're open. Let's see.
Hi, thank you for choosing Burger King. Unfortunately, my system is currently down.
Okay, so you're not taking orders?
No, not at the moment.
Oh, okay. All right, well, you have a good night.
You too.
Thanks. Well. Okay, so where do I want to go? Let's see. We're going to do, because we're both feeling like we need some kind of like emotional healing after what we've been through. We want something like really naughty. So with Burger King not being, you heard what they said. What did they say? Their system was down or something? What is it with systems being down tonight? Is the internet off or what? I don't know. I'm going to go to Jack in the Box and see if they can't help me. I hope they can help me. I am so thirsty. It's so weird. The car wasn't even gone like 24 hours, and it feels like it was gone for a month. Like, I'm so grateful to have my car again. It's a reminder of what a luxury having a car is. How nice it is to have a car and be able to. I've had times in my life where I didn't have a car, and it's like trying to do anything without a car is just not fun. You always have to ask somebody to give you a ride or take the bus, and you're always scared to get more than a couple of things at the grocery store, and you have to plan where you want to go hours ahead of time because of the buses and the schedules and stuff. It's not fun, so I'm very grateful. And I've had some doozy cars too. Like when I went through my second divorce, I bought this car. It's like $800 in cash, and it ended up being like a Katrina car, like a Hurricane Katrina car. And it had the floor on it. It had holes in the floor. I just needed a way to get around. I didn't care. But like that car it was pretty good. It didn't have an odometer that worked, so I never knew how fast I was going. I almost got one heck of a speeding ticket one time, and thank God. I was able to kind of flirt my way out of it because I was going really fast, and I didn't know it, but yes, it looks like Jack in the Box is open. She was super nice. Trying to fold the bags over to keep the food hot with one hand, and apparently I'm not as good at this as I thought I was. When I used to work fast food, I used to be able to do that, but then again, that was a long time ago now. Shoot, over 20 years ago. Because I'm not getting any younger. It's weird the way time just flies right on by, isn't it? Like, in the moment, it feels so slow sometimes, especially like if you're bored or something. And then you look back and it's like, how did 5 years go by? Okay, I'm back. We both made it home okay. If you made it this far, thank you so much for hanging out with me tonight. I hope you had kind of a fun adventure along with me. And if you made it this far, leave me a car or some kind of vehicle emoji so I know that you're one of the OGs. All right, you guys have a good day or night. I love you. Bye. You want to say bye? Okay.